Okay, so today we are going to look at adding color to a black and white picture. And this demo is in Photoshop CC 2021. And let's go ahead and go through that. I have created a new layer, all this, but I want to show you something first because it's going to flatten all this out. This image, I'm going to try to select a color here. Look at this, I've selected purple, but it shows up as black and white. Because sometimes when you grab an image, and I grabbed this one, it's from the Creative Commons, or from a Creative Commons search, and it is set to grayscale. So I need to change it to RGB color. If you go and you're trying to do something like this, and you can't add color to an image, it's probably the image color mode that's set at, right here, the color space. Grayscale doesn't work. Let's go ahead and change it to RGB. It'll say flatten. We say yes. So you have to add that new layer again. So I'm going to add a new layer. You're going, wait, you didn't show us that at the beginning. It's okay. It's okay, because I'm going to show you right here. In our layers panel. Remember, Photoshop works in layers. Layers are like those panes of glass. Each piece of the image is on a little bit of glass. We look through them all to see how everything works. Or sheets of paper stacked up. Some people like to think of it that way. I think of it as glass because if you don't have anything painted on it, you can see through the layer usually. We are going to do all of our painting on this new layer. But first, let's go ahead and grab our quick select tool, which is right here. Depending on the version of Photoshop, it may be nested on the top. It might not be. If you're in 2021, object selection shows up. I'm going to use the quick selection tool because it's universal kind of across the three pieces of software I show. So, and I'm not doing the drag method. I'm clicking individually because I find it works a little bit better. Instead of, sometimes you click and drag and get everything. It tends to get too much for me. I click and release, and that seems to get what I want. Now I'm going to make sure that I've clicked on my new layer. I do not want to paint on my background layer, or my flower is. Grab my paintbrush. You see I've made it huge. I've already selected a color, and I'm just going to fill that in. Now I'm going to drop this with Control D. Now, the secret to this is blend modes. Blend modes, blend modes, blend modes. If you've never used blend modes, you're about to see something magical because they can do all kinds of awesome things. Right now, our blend mode is found in the layers panel. Right here where it says normal, and it's got the opacity. We're going to change this normal. There's different things we can do. Before I change it, hold on. Some people do color just by simply lowering the opacity. You'll see that kind of makes it kind of meh. It loses some detail. It makes it look flat. We're not going to do that. There's different blend modes, and you can see as I scroll here, they do different things. But we are going to go down to color. Because what this does is it takes our hue that we chose and we painted over it, and it keeps all of the values of that black and white image, and it simply applies the hue over it. It applies the hue to each of those pixels. It will not paint on white or black and white, or black. Because white is all values turned on, and black is all values turned off. It won't color over those. Those will stay white, those will stay black. And you'll see where it was kind of medium gray here in the middle. It's got the darkest hues because that's where it applies the most value. And where it was very, very highlighty and washed out, it starts to go to white. Again, you see, it's simply applying the hue to whatever values are there. So, that's how you can color a picture. If I want to color the stem green, I can go in and I can either do it on the same layer or I can create a new layer. I'll create a new layer. I'm going to grab my quick select one more time. Let's see if it'll grab just the stem. I have to click on the flower layer because I don't have select all layers on. Let's see if I can grab just the flower stem. He's going to be a little tricky. May have to clean that up. Now I click on my new layer. Click on my brush. Let me select a nice green for that. I may not like this color, but I can go back and change it later. Swipe it. See, it only paints where it's selected. And then let's change that blend mode to color. Yeah, that's a really hideous green to go with that purple. But either way, you get the idea. So that's how you do it in Photoshop.